All right, we're back in the shop. It is 6:20 in the morning, and we're gonna start off by changing this blade. Probably a good thing to do first thing in the morning. All right. Right? It's amazing. It's supposed to rain today, like all day. So hopefully Vicky drives to work today. Otherwise, I'm gonna be walking home in the rain. They get locked in the basement. They don't want me down here. Oh, I forgot to grab the storage for these, so we gotta go upstairs. And eventually, I assume Vicky's gonna call when she gets here, because she forgot to grab her keys yesterday, so she's not getting in the building, and I don't want to leave the door unlocked if I'm in the basement. All right. Not sure how my music got paused. There you go. So Vicky rolled in yesterday at noon. I'm like, really? I did get a hold of her at 9 a.m. yesterday. It was cutting out so bad yesterday. I need to move the antenna. Or the transmitter. So we traded TV in for music, and I'm currently listening to Pepper by the Butthole Surfers. So today's going to be beautiful. It's going to be high of 61 degrees. So, light sweatshirt weather. So if you're just tuning in, we are cutting, this is black walnut. This is 5/8 of an inch, or right around 19 mil. We're cutting it out on the scroll saw. This is a 16-inch buck tool. Peel the pattern off here. So we use blue painter's tape and then glue the paper pattern to the wood. Yeah, this wood is gorgeous. So black walnut's kind of hit and miss. This is not steamed. So with the black walnut, a lot of places they steam it. Basically, they try to get the sapwood to look more like the heartwood. To try to even the color out. Ivan, welcome in. So I do have a set of Pegasus chuck heads that I'm not using that I could put on the saw. But these work just fine, so it's kind of a conundrum. Back when I used to run Delta and DeWalt saws, their chuck heads would prematurely wear out. So that's kind of why I got the Pegasus chuck heads, but then I switched brands, so. Yeah, this thing's driving me nuts too. Huh. Well, that's dumb. We'll see how it works. Now, I think it's the only outlet in the basement is on the side of the cistern, which is way the heck in that back corner. So it's way back there. So it would make more sense for me to set up in that way back corner. But yeah, I'm currently like right next to the stairs. Find a good angle here eventually. Yeah, so I want to get this cut out this morning. This afternoon, I am going to be working on that yarn bowl again. I'm making a segmented yarn bowl. Today, I'm going to design the base. I think I'm just going to do a plain base. Just cut a ring out on the CNC machine, and then probably cut a circle in the middle, about a 1/4 inch depth, so I can... once it's all glued together, just set it in the cold jaws and then put my taper in so I can chuck it up right away, so I don't have to do the least amount of machining while it's on the cold jaws as possible, because it's not a really great holding device. Doesn't the moisture in the basement affect the wood? If it sat down here, it most certainly would. um, so it's not down here very long. I mean, it's only down here a couple hours. So it goes right from here, right back upstairs. So I have all these little ones prepped in a box, so. You know, if it sat down here for a long time, I would have to bring it upstairs and then kind of let it acclimate for a while. I have considered... Hang on 1 second. I think Vicky's here. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I was wrong. Yeah, I was thinking about just tarping like across the front here, and then putting a dehumidifier in. And then just run the dehumidifier straight into the drain, because we're going to produce a lot of water. Hey, Johan, how's it going? Welcome in. So now we're going to just lay out the mortise. So I use different thicknesses of wood, so the sides will change. I was thinking about maybe printing a grid. That way I could just quickly mark where the grid is, but that's all right. I've been doing this for years. It's just kind of my order of operations, you know. So if you look at the pattern, you know, I have a center line. So when I lay the arm across the top, I kind of make a bullseye so I could see the plus in there. I know it's hard to see. Oh, the thumping. I figured it out. Next to me is where my stairs are That's where the stairway is to go to the upstairs apartments. So what I'm hearing is the upstairs neighbors leaving for work, and they are when they get down to the bottom of the steps, um, right next to me. So that's what I'm hearing them stomping around. Or it could be Balthazar. You never know. Hey, Curious, we are making Turkish-style drop spindles that are used to spin yarn. So they have two arms and then a shaft that goes in the middle. I don't have any down here to show you, but so you're making these today. So we're just kind of hanging out on the bandsaw. Get a very nice finish off the saw. Hey AJ, how's it going? Welcome in. So I am running the saw off a pedal. So yeah, we're just kind of setting up down here. This is my second day down here. So I am in a little commercial workshop. And my main stuff is all upstairs, but I do have upstairs neighbors, so I don't want to upset them by making noise too early in the morning. So I just set up the little scroll saw station down here so I can work whenever. So if I can't sleep, I can come to work, and you know, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I can make stuff. So we did the official decibel check. I had my girlfriend stand upstairs and listen, and she could barely hear it from downstairs. So I think the upstairs is going to be pretty much silent up there. We have 12-foot tall ceilings, so there's quite a distance. That's true. That is very true. I have a sneaky suspicion my landlord wouldn't be bothered by it. The neighbor was telling me how he got yelled at a few years ago because he was working like at 3 o'clock in the morning running saws and shit. And one of the neighbors complained he was really offended by that. And I'm thinking, well, you can't make noise after 10 p.m. is the quiet time here. So I can understand that. But, you know, if he set up a scroll sign in the basement, nobody would ever known. Hey, thanks. Thank you much, Truman. It's way too early. I know, right? Well, I gotta like put the time in so I can, you know, afford to get some clamps. You know. Let's see. Tube says you broke a blade on. I broke the blade on one of those yesterday and have to buy a new one. Yeah. So I'm running a little low, but I buy my blades by the gross. 7 a.m. is when you can make a bunch of noise. The person with the most clamps wins. So yeah. So I'm in the spooky basement. It's a great basement, but you can't really store anything down here because it's really humid down here. You know, I get 12 packs. I buy them by the gross. You probably like 10 pack at the most. Depends on how often you use them. Yeah, I have quite a few blades. I think the sad part is you know, I walk to work, so I saw like 6 cars today on the way to work. It's like a new record. Put the 2 pubs out of business. The 2 dive bars, yeah. I'm sure there's quite a bit of bar hopping going on, you know. People walking from one bar to the other bar and then back to the first bar. Yeah, so I'm on an old main street in a little town that there's no commerce. Everything's shut down except for the public library. And then there's a construction company that has a little building. And then we have 2 bars. I got a bar on either side of me, a couple doors away on each side. And I have a woodworker next to me on that side, so. Used your saw yesterday to make a slot and handle for a new knife? Awesome. Yeah, my thought was if I get these done early in the morning, then I can spend the rest of the days just playing around. Welcome back. I have a phone like that. I have a phone that has its own mind. Or are you enjoying something? Not anymore, you're not. That's excellent time management. Yes. Get the work out of the way so you can play. Sure. Let's hear it. I've got the main body. I've got 4 layers stacked together. Today I'm gonna make the bottom. I think I'm just gonna make the plain bottom. And then I might make one smaller ring to put on the top. So when I make the bowl, if I make the one smaller ring, I'll be able to have it come in a little bit. So if you have a ball of yarn in here, you know, you're going to go through, there'll be a slot. There'll be like a J slot. So you bring your yarn and put it in here. But if it slips out of there, if you have it smaller on the top, the cake or the ball of yarn will kind of hit against the smaller section. But this one, you know, I'm just playing, you know. Trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And I gotta drive to Ohio and steal some of Chuck's clamps. I assume as long as I'm whistling, he'll never know. If I tippy toe in whistling, invisibility. Ew. So you got a 2-inch long gash on your thumb. Yeah, be careful, you know. You only get one set of pecker checkers, so gotta keep an eye on that. I'm sorry. I keep telling you, I usually cut myself once or twice a year. And I cut myself on January 1st, so I don't know. Huh. It's weird. You know, and I'm using a number 7 blade, which is somewhat big, but you get like a number 12 blade, that would hurt getting cut by it. It'll do more chewing than anything. Huh. Oh, I know. I'm not worried. So I started yesterday my slow process of talking Vicky into me needing a Pegas bandsaw. So we'll see how long it takes. So they make a scroller's bandsaw, and it uses the same style blades at the same thickness blade as the scroll saw. Damn it, he's almost there. His thumb's like in the way, and then he moves it last second. And the angle of the phone makes it look like I'm really darn close. You know? Oh no, he's gonna cut himself. Oh, I'm freaking a quarter inch away. Squirrel Saw's awesome. Yours is garbage. Yeah. So I've been scroll sawing since the 80s, and the problem with scroll saws is that there's a lot of garbage ones out there. There's a lot of just cheap ones that you outgrow really, really quick. So it kind of, I don't know. Makes people very, you know. Yeah. I mean, it's not that they're not functional. They just don't have, you know, a lot of the cheap ones take pinned end blades only. So you start out with a blade that's really kind of thick and long. This one here, I can look it up. I think it's 3 something. Okay, so it is $289, which isn't horrible for this saw. And then the 22-inch is $317. Yeah, it's really not bad. Yeah, so this saw was sent to me by Bucktool to do a review on it. Well, like DeWalt and like Delta, they lost their minds. You know, things have gotten way, way, way expensive, and this is even before the whole tariff thing. So Harbor Freight has a 22-inch. I think it's right around $289 as well, and they're actually made in the same factory as this one. Yeah, yeah. Their pricing is kind of, they price themselves out of the market as far as I'm concerned. As far as Delta goes, I used to think of them as disposable saws, and I buy a Delta saw, use it for 2-3 years until it started going bad, and then I would just buy another one because they were so cheap. That's no longer the case. Right? Their toolboxes are expensive, but they are good quality though. But you know, they're not Snap-on, you know? That's just the way they are. They're not Mako or whatever. Mako. This is not commercial grade, no. But if you buy a big, expensive Harbor Freight toolbox, they will deliver it. So if you go to harborfreight.com and look at their 22-inch scroll saw and go down to the consumer videos, you can watch me give a review on that saw. It's amazing. Those marketing geniuses went to YouTube and just shared my video for free. They're nice. Yeah, Goodwill these days, they like to price things new. Well, there's just so many resellers that it pushed up the cost of everything. It's a great business model. People give you stuff for free, and then you sell it. So yeah, the big difference between like this saw here, you know, it's sub 300, and my main saw upstairs is a little over 1,000. The big difference is the bearings are better. The fit and finish is better. Hey, JS, you just started a YouTube channel? Nice. Hey, free wrench, can't complain about that. You buy, I sell? Nice. All right, I believe that's the last walnut glider that's that shape. We got a couple cherry ones here. Let's get those made. So one of the nice things about live streaming, bring this up a little bit, is I have a counter, so I can make sure I change my blade every hour. Yep, there's a little bellows on the top arm, so when the arm goes up and down, it pushes air through. Yeah, so this style saw here is kind of a little bit better than a beginner saw. That's kind of an intermediate saw. I mean, I don't think it would last if you used it 8 hours a day for, 4 years. Probably be wearing stuff out pretty quick. Yeah, so, yeah, drop spindles are what came before spinning wheels. So it's basically, You flick it, it spins in circles, and then you draft the yarn from there. Eventually, I'll have one down here with me. Actually, I can show you what they look like when they're done. I gotta go up and get a new cup of coffee anyways. I'm trying my best not to drink a pot of coffee this morning. But I'm only 1 cup in, so I should be okay. Alright, let's go upstairs. Coffee, coffee, coffee. So this is what they're going to look like when they're done. So there's a big shaft on there. And then you use them to spin yarn. Yeah. So this is the upstairs of the shop. So the most important part about the shop, the big comfy couch. Everybody needs a big comfy couch. So yeah, this is where I keep my product. So all the Turkish spindles go in these racks. The one on the left is for Etsy, and the one on the right is for Shopify. And then some of the other little stuff I store over here. It's guarded by a chicken and a cactus, and a raccoon, and a giraffe, and a pig, and a couple llamas, and yeah. I was just checking for the Vicky. I don't know what I'd do if there was like 3 people outside. Probably call the police. Suspicious people everywhere. How did I get started in doing this? A girl. So I've been a woodworker as long as I can remember. And I was on Etsy. I was selling wooden toys and like wooden signs. And one of my friends on Etsy asked if I could make her a drop spindle. So I decided, yeah, I could make her one. So I went to a local yarn shop to get some roving to make sure it worked. And they looked at me like I was crazy, and they sent me across the street. And there's another shop over there that was more spinning and weaving. And yeah, they got me started. So by the time, I made one for her and it was decent and I was happy with it, I taught myself how to spin and I really enjoyed it. So I started making these to kind of support the spinning of the yarn. I didn't have the budget to, just go and buy everything I needed. So I started doing that. I was working at vehicle manufacturer facility, building a lot of military vehicles, and I got laid off. And since I was making these for a couple months, I decided to try to do it full time. That was like 13 years ago, and I'm still here today. So I kind of fell into it. I have made prototype spinning wheels. I do some spinning wheel repair, but I don't do that commercially. I just do that for fun. Eventually, I do plan on making spinning wheels, but it's gonna take a while. I do have all the components to make a electric spinning wheel. I just have to design it and make it. A play knife or a tooth knife? I don't know. That's up to you. Oh, this arm does raise. So if you're, and it locks into place. So if you got a big piece of wood, you can get some clearance. And on the back, there's a pin. I see a question. Give me a second. So the question is there still that many people that spin? Seems like there's nowhere where it used to be as commonplace. Yes, there's still a lot of people who spin. It's a niche, but there's a lot of fiber artists out there. There's a lot of people who knit and crochet. And they start, wanting more control. And then, if I spin my own yarn, I can have complete control over what's in it. And yeah, it's still a thing. I say make a tooth knife because that sounds like more fun. Serrations equal fun. So this is a medium. The other ones are full, so. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger. But, basically, I do sell worldwide. My international sales have really dropped considerably in the last year and a half, but I still sell internationally, just not as much as I used to. Oh, I heard something fall. I couldn't figure out what it was. I dropped my ruler. All right. This one's cherry. Kind of just jumping back and forth here. And my ruler fell again, so I'm thinking I need a different place to put my ruler. So the nice thing about being in the basement is I have a cement floor. So it does help kill the vibration a little bit. Why is it so hard to get good lighting at your workbench? I hear ya. Lighting can be a struggle. So the lighting down here, because I'm filming, so I've got a big light, and then I also have an OT light here. I mean, this is like probably 50 pounds or 60 pounds. It's not heavy. But, so upstairs, you know, it's a 126-year-old building. So, even though the floors are stable, there's a little bit of a bounce to them, if you will. So, I spend most of time on the scroll saw and on the lathe, and I have a big light on the lathe, and then on the scroll saw I use a magnifier that has an LED ring light on it. And then the upstairs is all fluorescent fixtures, but they all have LED bulbs in them. which I know because I just had to swap out 3 ballasts. 3 of the lights went out, and it's getting kind of dark upstairs, so I just replaced them. Now it's all bright. How much does all that cost? I've been talking about the lights in here. The Ott light that I'm using, I bought at a rummage sale, I believe, for $5, and the big light next to me I also purchased for $5. That being said, the socket was bad, so I had to tear apart one of those little clip lights to get the socket out of it. But yeah, so I'm like, I don't know, $10 into that light. Now, if I were to buy these new, that's, I don't know, 100 and something. That one is $35 maybe new. You get them in sets for like 60 or 70. As far as the light on the lathe is a Laguna light. That was a couple $100. It just same brand and clips in there. The little magnifying glass I think was like 70 or 80. I bought it locally. You can get them cheap. As far the big thing is, just keep your eyes open, All right, now we're to standards. So, how long did it take to get into full productions level to be full-time doing this? For me, it took being laid off at the factory. So I was selling several months prior to that, and I started building a reputation. It could have easily failed. It really could have. But I had a reasonable price, and I was very active in the communities on Facebook and Ravelry, which is a specific site for yarn stuff. Like anything else, the first couple of years were very lean. I was working out of a bedroom in a little garden shed, and then you just kind of start building up from there. So, I was selling on Etsy. I started in like 2008, and that was just hobby. It was never meant to be a full-time job. But I kind of cut my teeth on that. So when I did start this one, the whole Snyder Spindles thing, it took off okay. Lots of dumb luck. You work with sauce with your eyes closed. Safety glasses. That would be a good investment. So even though I work for myself and I'm down in the basement by myself, I'm still wearing safety glasses, and I still have earplugs in. Because, I like seeing. Yeah, and I've got several streams of revenue. So I sell online, I sell on Etsy, and then I have a Shopify account. So the Shopify is my own domain, so it's snyderspindles.com. And then I have Etsy. And I also go to festivals. So I go to like sheep and wool festivals. So, you know, I set up a 10 by 20 foot booth, put all my stuff in, and I make money doing that. And then I also do some limited wholesaling. So I will sell to some yarn shops, but I've kind of cut back down on that. So, you know, YouTube is not a real money making thing for me. I just enjoy it. I think yesterday I made like 60 cents. So if I keep that up in a week, I'll be able to get myself a soda. Depending on your business and what you're doing, sometimes local college or tech school will have some classes on beginner stuff. The big thing is taxes. It's a pain in the butt. So, you're not even close to college? I'm sure there's plenty of YouTube videos on... Okay. So if you're just starting out with that, keep track of your expenses. Yeah. So what I did was my partner, she has an accounting degree, so she became my instant accountant. You're making jewelry. Last month you spent $140 on materials. Cool. And did you sell this stuff? Made $643. That's not a bad profit margin. From necklaces and rings? Nice. Now, do you sell them to... how do you go about selling them? Do you sell them to friends and family? And you're trading to sell knives too? Awesome. And there you go. charging $30 for a normal necklace. If people are willing to pay that, that's awesome. Pricing is hard. It really is. Well, you would have to have, a parent or somebody set it up for you, take responsibility for it. And then they would be required to submit the taxes. Granted, you'd have to pay them for that, but yeah. I mean, you could also look into like consignment. See if there's like I don't know, a beautician, like a beauty shop somewhere that, might let you set up a little display and sell them out of there. The only issue with consignment is they tend to want to take half your money. Oh, let's see if she's up. Hello? Are you? Okay, I'll be right up. Give me 1 second. I gotta let Vicky in. I'll eat a cucumber or something. Life will be good. Alright guys, sorry about that. I'm sure everybody left. Alright. Vicky is now in the shop. Vicky has came into the building. Yeah, so you gotta stop at $8,000. If you guys could do me a favor and just double click the screen, it'll help getting some more people in here. But if you want to keep me all to yourself, that's fine too. I'm not going to complain. Thank you, guys. Much appreciated. I'm such a demanding YouTuber, you know. Oh, we could change this into an ASMR stream real quick. All right, it's been an hour and a half. It's time to change this blade out. So this blade here does have an up and down to it. So if you look right in this region here, you can see these teeth are facing up and these teeth are facing down. So all these are down, 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 and the last inch or so is up. So what that does, it helps prevent tear out on the bottom. So if all the teeth face down at the bottom, it would rip the wood on the very bottom. So these teeth face up, so that it's actually cutting up. Sometimes you'll see a line where the transition is, but not very often. I don't know how you would do that, but... Sure, go ahead. So, when I started using the scroll saw when I was 12, and I'm now 51. So, kind of blows my mind. So there was a knife maker that was in this building before me. So when I moved in, they had some display kind of counters that he built that they were tearing down. They were pretty junky and. But there is remnants of a knife maker in here. I have no idea. Well, considering he's no longer here, probably not. Hey, Maverick. I do not have any ice cream. I'm sorry. I do have a leftover hamburger patty and some sloppy joes. And some buns if you want that. I'm going to be making eggs and breakfast sausage in a little bit. Do I speak French? I do not. Je ne joue pas français. I do not play French. I took 2 years of French in high school. Yeah, I don't remember anything. Oh, it's being translated. I have a little translation thing. So I was not aware he was speaking French. Yeah, on my end, it's just all in English. But there is a little translation symbol next to it. It is. It does work. Yeah, so in high school, I had a choice between two languages. They had Spanish and French. And both our foreign language teachers were nuts. But the Spanish teacher was a little more nuts. So I went with French. Because I figured, when's the next time I'm going to go to Spain? Spanish would have been a better choice. When I worked in the factories, I used to work in a bindery making magazines. I worked in the finishing department, so I put the magazines together. And we always had a great number of non-English speaking people. I kind of lucked out. My second operator was bilingual, so it wasn't too bad for me, but she was also the translator for the shift, so I would lose my second operator quite a bit to go translate. Yep, so Vicky made breakfast sausage out of turkey. Apparently she found a recipe online and added a whole bunch of seasonings, so we're going to try out her turkey sausage this morning. Which I'm actually looking forward to. We'll see. She said she had some and it was good, so. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, babe.
Just to let you know, we were able to avoid those labels.
Okay, cool.
So no credit us.
Awesome. Thank you, honey.
Yep.
Beauty.
They got hold of us yesterday afternoon. So hey, you can avoid them. We haven't used them. We had used them. They didn't want to deliver them to begin with.
They wouldn't take them.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So, we had an issue with Shopify. We ordered labels from them, and they were fraudulent labels. They were already used. So it was a thing. We had to go back through the post office and get boxes back, and what a pain in the tuchus. But they finally credited our account, so we're able to cancel those labels. We ended up having to, buy our own labels. So let's see. So we were able to cancel those labels, so. I mean, it was like $50 or $60 worth of labels, but still. So this is black walnut. So this isn't the hardest black walnut I've ever had, but it's definitely up there. It's very, very strong. There's not a really good grading system for walnut. So when I buy walnut, I go there and I pick through what they got. I live about, I don't know, half hour away from a very nice mill, lumber mill, that carries a lot of exotic woods as well. You just dropped an amble on your foot and it's in shock and now there's no pain. Oh, the pain's coming. Did the anvil say Acme on it by chance? All right, have a good one. Oof. Well, go to the hospital. Probably the best thing to do. So we got like 8 more of these to make. Then I'm going to call it a stream. I'm going to be going upstairs after breakfast. I'm probably going to hop on the lathe for a few hours. So you might have lucked out then. I don't know. I have neuropathy in my feet and my hands, so I'm basically a superhero. It's funny because it's not me. Best Homer Simpson quote ever. Yeah, so I'm not sure. So I would imagine you would spend most of your time making sure that you didn't unintentionally hurt yourself. I'm sure the inside of your cheeks would be all chewed up too. So I'm just verifying that the holes are centered. Because when you make something that can go together in two different ways, it better be able to go together in two different ways. Yeah, I think I'm going to do some sanding today as well. That is not a streamable offense. But we might try getting Vicky involved. I might enable guests and then just accept Vicky as a guest. So we'll have Vicky sanding in the corner. Wow. Yeah, that would kind of suck. Yeah, there would be a lot of checking to make sure nothing's messed up. That would get old after a while. Hey guys, welcome in. If you're new to the stream, my name is Scott. We make stuff. I'm currently making some drop spindles that are used to spin yarn, apparently. Um, we got like 5 more to cut out. So I'm subterranean. This is, I set up a little shop in the basement with just a saw so I can get some work done. So I'm not going to piss off the neighbors until at least 8:30 a.m. So when I'm done with this batch, I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to go upstairs and start working upstairs, have some breakfast. I'm 2 cups of coffee in, so... So eventually we'll get this whole situation figured out. Oh yeah? Yeah, it's gonna be raining here all day today. Here in Wisconsin, we've been getting freaking hit with quite a few thunderstorms. Well, the good news is I'm in the basement. That's the safest spot to be during a tornado. That way you have the whole building collapse on you. Oh, fun, fun. Free wood. Free wood. Yeah, free wood. I don't do a lot of bowl turning. I'm starting to do a little bit of bowl turning. But yeah, bowl turners wait until after the storm and drive around and try to snag up as much wood as they can get. So you get some green wood. Rough turn the bowl and then let it dry. Oh, when it stops suddenly, that's very eerie. Because you know you're going to get hit again. It's just a matter of time. Eventually, yeah. Yeah. I got to go through a few prototypes as far as the segmented bowls go. And I should grab some logs off my porch and turn some bowls. It's just a matter of time. Oh! Well, make sure you're safe. Tornadoes will not just go around you. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. All right, we got 3 more to go. Well, if you can see a tornado, you're way too close to the tornado. Granted, I've watched plenty of tornadoes in my life, but that's beside the point. See how he must be Southern Illinois. Yeah, once you get past Chicago, there's a lot of nothing. And Illinois is such a long state. It seems like it takes like all day to drive through it. So, what are your thoughts about the Bears moving? I'm not sure what a willy willy is, but sounds a little sketchy. We get cyclones. We get a lot of tornadoes that water spouts that come above lakes. We see those quite a bit. Very small tornadoes. Yeah, we get the, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore tornadoes here. Kind of like the cow in Twister. Another cow. No, I think that was the same cow. Well, as long as you don't see an old lady riding a bicycle, you should be okay. Or a dude rowing a boat in the air. Alright, guys, this is the last one. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? I thought witches were ugly. No, only bad witches are ugly. Hey, wait a minute. Alright, guys, I'd like to thank you for hanging out with me. Much appreciated. I will. Those sound delicious. Well, we'll play the live stream back. I don't think there was any EVPs, but we'll try. All right, guys, have a great day, and I will catch you in the next one. And remember, be nice to people. It doesn't cost you anything, and they're going through all the same crap you are. All right, everyone.